Love, light, and blessings. Shamanic Arawak Priestess here. And I wanted to make this video today. I've been working all day. I traveled this weekend on business. I just got back today in the evening. I literally had like 2.5 hours before I had to do my professional readings for clients. And so I showered, I did everything I had to do. I ate dinner, I did my readings, and I will be doing more of a walkthrough review of the decks that I'm going to talk about, because I literally wanted to talk about my newest additions to my practice of divination, and talk about the new direction that the new direction that my readings have been taking, and the tools that I'm resonating with, and so on and so forth. And I also wanted to show you guys a gift that I got from a client as well. So yeah, okay, so let's go into the gift. So my client got me a book by John Niven called The Second Coming. Okay, I'm going to review all these books on my channel and let you know what I think of them. He also got me, I don't work with this goddess, however, I do appreciate him buying me this book because I love to learn about other cultural practices and other forms of spirituality and witchcraft and those kinds of things and spiritual paths, because I have clients from various walks of life, cultural, racial backgrounds. So I always like to educate myself in other cultural practices. So I will be reading this book and I will be giving you guys a review of it. It's called Keeping Her Keys, an introduction to Hecate's modern witchcraft by Cindy Brannan. So I'm looking forward for this book. And this one I'm really interested in too. It's called True Magic, Unleashing Your Inner Witch by Cindy Brannan. So I will be looking into this book as well, and letting you guys know what I think of it. So I want to let this person know, thank you. I love reading. So when you guys give me books like this, I get really excited. Like, I could never have enough stuff to read, okay? Okay, so now getting into the topic of this video. So I have recently been purchasing some decks. You will see that on my channel. Because I have always used like the Morgan Greer, Wheel of the Year, and things like that for my readings. But I'm noticing like a shift. I've been noticing a shift, okay? And while I've always worked with the Morgan Greer and the Wheel of the Year, I have felt to put those decks to sleep. Not that I can't read with them anymore, but like my spirit guides have been kind of making me feel like I need to add some new decks to my working decks. So my working decks are the decks that I use for client readings. For those of you that don't know, I'm a full-time psychic reader. I work 5 to 6 days a week doing psychic readings, anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a day of work. And so, I work on a full-time basis. I am a professional reader, and I do a lot of readings. So these decks are different than decks that I buy for personal use. These are the decks that I get the best results when I read with clients. And Morgan Greer and Wheel of the Year were one of those decks, but I just been feeling like not drawn to work with them. And so I just been feeling like not getting rid of them per se, but putting them to sleep. And I'll occasionally do that. Most of my collection consists of working decks that I've used for years on a consistent basis, and sometimes I just stop feeling drawn to work with certain decks, but I won't get rid of them. I just put them away, and sometimes years later, a year later, I'm drawn to work with that deck again. Rather than giving it away, I have it in my storage, so that's kind of what I did with the Wheel of the Year and the Morgan Greer, that I'm just really not feeling drawn to work with at the moment. So what happened with that is I like to always have 6 decks, 6 working decks, 6 main decks that I read clients with, that I'm going to use for the entire year, that kind of thing. So these decks I'm going to use for the rest of this year, but I'm also planning to use for the whole 2021. So these are the 6 decks that I'm going to, and some decks I've used year in, like Hanson Roberts, Wheel of the Years, so on and so forth. I use them year after year after year. So I don't really rotate, because I really end up not adding too many decks to my working decks. I'm very particular in picking about the decks that I use to read for the public, that I use to read for my clients, because I want to have the decks that I work with more, that I have the strongest connection with. They're going to give me the best, most clear answers so that you guys can get the best services. So with that being said, recently I added and this I got from Mary Faroum, the 1980s version of the Rider-Waite Smith. Okay, all my decks I put in order when I'm not using them. So I'm just going to show a couple of cards. So this deck I bought because I have this year started to become very attracted to Rider-Waite Smith decks. And the platbacks were ones that I didn't like that much, and I think it's because it had like a tight writing. It didn't have her original writing in it anymore, and the colors got really loud. They ended up putting back the original writing of Pamela Coleman Smith with the recent versions, but when I saw her put this deck on sale, like I just felt drawn to purchase this deck. Like I just felt like I need to purchase this deck. I need to get this deck. The lighting is like weird. Yeah, I just felt like I needed to get this deck. You know, I needed to purchase this deck and get it and all that good stuff. So that's what I ended up doing, is purchasing this deck, and I completely love it. It's just been a really, really good working deck for me, and things like that. So I don't know, the lighting is like funky and it's kind of annoying me, but oh brother. Okay, so all right, sorry about that. Like the lighting was annoying me. It was so blurry. Okay, so yes, I've been working with this deck and I love it. Really, I love it a lot. It just gives like really, 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 really good readings and things like that. So this is the 1980s version of the Plaidbacks, the Rider-Waite Smith deck. So I use this for client readings. It gives me really, really, really great readings that I completely love to use this deck. Like it's a really good reader. So like I said, I use it for client readings. It's not as loud as the modern version. I love the card stock, and ever since I purchased this deck from her, I've used it on clients and I love it. So I just love the Plaidbacks. This actually has become my favorite version of the Rider-Waite Smith. Okay, it used to be the original tarot, but this is it here. And then it was like the Centennial, but more the original one. The Plaidbacks now, I love it. Even the modern ones, but I just, something about this 1980s version that I just love. So anyways, Hanson Roberts been using it year after year after year after year after year after year. I talk about it all the time. It is a deck. It is a deck that I've been recently using, that I just ended up putting away because I wanted to play with my other decks that I got, which I'm going to talk about right now. But yeah, so this will be like the second deck. It's a working deck as well. This one I got because it's diverse. Ended up not connecting with it right away. I was drawn to get it. So all these decks are decks that I've been told by Spirit to get, like I've talked about in another video. And this one is Tarot Illuminati, and same thing, it's so glossy. Sorry. This is a deck that literally is beautiful. I love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. At first I thought it was too busy, but I don't know, I've just ended up connecting with it. And I love, 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 love doing client readings with this one. And I love that this deck has diversity, because it's really hard to find decks that are traditional. Like I can find modern decks that are diverse, but I'm one of those people, for some reason I connect with decks that are older looking or from a certain time period and things like that. So I really appreciate the racial diversity of this deck, because, you know, then I can have a more diverse deck that I can use for client readings. So I love that. I love, 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 love this deck. It is a great, great reader. It is a great reader. This deck is wonderful. And that's Tarot Illuminati. And that will be deck number 3. And then this one, deck number 4, is the Miss Cleo Power deck. I love this one too. It is a deck that I do professional readings with as well. So I use it for clients. Anytime I read for clients, things like that. I have used this deck also to read for myself. And this one is so good. Like spirits come through. I don't know. It's just, I talk to spirits directly, but it's just, I find like, I don't know, like there's a spirit that lives here. Like it's, mediumship comes through there. Like, I don't know. Anyways, the fourth deck, so the newest two decks would be this one, which is the True Heart Intuitive Tarot. Like I had said it in my unboxing, the packaging isn't great, the cardstock isn't great, but the artwork and just the overall energy and the connection that I have with this deck, I love. This is the backs. I truly do hope they make a second edition with a little bit of a better cardstock. But other than that, like, I just love this deck. Like, I use this for client readings. I got it right out of the box. And wow, like, it's gorgeous. I love this deck so much. I did a full flip through of this deck as well. It is a great deck. I just love it. Borders and all, it reads so well for me. Definitely this has become a working deck for me. It just, even if it's not that traditional, like it is Rider-Waite Smith, but it's not at the same time. Like, it does its own thing. Like, for some reason, I do connect with this one. And it's also diverse, like the Tarot Illuminati, where at least it's racially diverse and things like that. So I do appreciate that about, there is some racial diversity in this deck. So I do appreciate that. So that will be my fifth working deck. And I worked with it in the month of October and I loved it. And my latest purchase, which I literally took out the box as well, is the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. And this one I kept seeing on various tarot channels. And I kept like trying to figure out what that name of the deck was, because it was usually like people doing readings on their channel or whatever, or they'll talk but they won't link it, or I just wouldn't get the name. So I am so happy. But the backs of this is why I was like, I want this. And I read with this deck all day today when I got it. I cleared it, charged it, blessed it, and did all my readings with it. And I love it. Like, this artwork, everything about this deck speaks to me. Like, I completely love it. It's gorgeous. Like, this is such a beautiful Rider-Waite Smith clone. Like, oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Like, I read with this deck and I just like got the most amazing readings with it. I don't know, there's just like a certain feeling you get when you like connect with a deck like no other. And so this definitely is, you know, number 6 on the working decks. I plan to work with this deck for the rest of the month of October, and possibly even November. So I definitely want it to be a working deck, which is what it is. So I'm really happy. I look forward to working with this deck in November, in next year, the year 2021. I plan to do professional readings with it. It's just so, like, just everything about it is gorgeous. My oldest daughter was like, that is a beautiful deck. It really, really is a beautiful Rider-Waite Smith clone. I just love all the gold. The only downfall is I wish it had gilding on the sides, but the artwork is beautiful. And it's a great deck for those that don't may not be drawn to working with Pamela Coleman Smith or Rider-Waite Smith decks. This is a great clone. A great deck for anyone who wants to study tarot, just getting into tarot, or for the advanced reader or anything else like that too. But this is a good traditional deck. Like I said, I love it. I love it. I love the beautiful like borders. It has like a blue, like a greenish blue there. I love that it has numbers, so it's 5 of Cups. You know exactly what suit it is. So this numeration without titles does work for this deck. And even the fact that the major arcana doesn't have any wording in it, like you know what these cards are, if that makes sense. So I appreciate that as well. That hasn't really affected my abilities to read the cards. I love the court cards. Look at how pretty that golden foil is. Like, this is beautiful. I love the faces on this as well. Like, it just really speaks to my intuition, my psychic abilities, like this artwork and the faces on this, the colorations. I love this. This feels very autumny, kind of like energy, wintry type of situation. Like, I love it so much. It's just, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I'm so happy that I bought this deck. I'm so happy that I connected with it. There's nothing greater than buying a deck and then getting that instant connection when you open the box and just reading right out the box, and getting amazing readings with it and things like that. So I love the personal readings that I did with it, the client readings so far that I've done with this deck, and the feedback from the clients. They're like, oh, that deck is beautiful. And the messages, I love that Queen of Wands. The wand suit is like, oh, I love the cups, the wands. Oh, look at the pentacles. Oh, so beautiful. Just loving it. Sorry if I'm going fast. Pause if you need to pause to look at the cards a little bit better. Just trying to do, because I have like other decks that I want to show you guys. This is just, it's beautiful. Look at this Nine of Pentacles lady. They just have expressions. Love some of these facial expressions. They have more human-like faces. I love cartoon drawings. I do like some of my decks look like photos and real stuff too, but I don't know. Like, I love this. Look at this sword. Look at this sword. Look at it. It's so beautiful. Two of Swords. This is just beautiful. I love all, like how every suit, the borders change colors. This is like a purplish blue. Like, I like that. Very elemental. You can see what each of these cards are. So to me, like, they're clear enough. They're not like, not too much going on where you're like, what is this trying to tell me? Like, you can get nice clear messages with this, and I love it. So it's really, really great. Knight. This is your queen. This is your king. So, and this is the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. Oh my God, look at these books. Like, I'm so excited to have gotten this. Like, I was like waiting, like, when is my package coming? So that's the 6th deck. So these are the main 6 working decks that I plan to work with throughout the year of 2020 through 2021. So yeah, these will be the ones that, if you get a reading with me, most likely any of these 6 will be the decks that I read you with, and that kind of thing. I want to make sure I don't drop anything here. Okay, all right. So then we have okay, because I want to end with outside of tarot. Speaking of tarot, I had a recent dream about a deck that I never thought I would read with, because I had various versions of it, and while I connected with them, they really didn't like do it for me, if that makes sense. However, it was until I saw this deck, this art style. So I looked for this particular art style, and I have to say, wow, wow, wow. I have, oh my goodness. So I'm really excited to share with you guys. This is a Los Caribo Anima Antiqua. Okay, so this is like a copy of like, and it looks cute because it looks like it's like wood. It's supposed to look like it's a wood box, like it's adorable. It's one of the ones you open from above. Okay, and this is the little book that it comes with. How cute is this? What's so special about this deck? It's supposed to be a like reproduction of the Tarot de Marseille 1760. Okay, so the images of this deck of the tarot were digitalized from public domain sources and or private collections. They were then optimized to reproduce the appearance and colors as faithful to the originals as possible during the printing process. In order to preserve the original feeling of these ancient images, the cards have not been treated with chemical varnish, and as a result, they may not be suitable for shuffling. So these cards may not be suitable for shuffling. But anyways, I got these for collection purposes, even though I'm not a collector, because, okay, this is a numbered edition limited to only 2,999 copies. My copy is 1451. So they're already almost halfway sold out. After the 2,999 copies, they're not going to make any more. So I am actually planning to use this deck even if it's not made for shuffling. Okay, this is the backs. Okay, so I had a dream again to work with this deck, so I will be doing that. I bought this one for study purposes, and I am planning to buy one that I'm actually going to use for use. But this is the backs of this, gorgeous, and this is the front. These are like, this looks like my dream. They look like this type of drawing my spirit guide took me through, and basically said I need to work with Tarot de Marseille, so I'm going to be doing that. Okay, just I love this so much. It just looks old. It looks like something you will find in a museum or something. And literally, like in my dream, the major arcana they were in picture frames throughout this house that I saw. And so definitely had a dream to work with this deck. And every time I have a dream to work with a deck, I listen. You can see like the imperfections, see? I like the way they made it look like that. I know that this is not everybody's thing, and I'm okay with that. But I've just learned, like, I need to listen to my guides when they tell me to work with something. Now, the minor arcana are pippish, so I'm just going to go through the aces and the court cards, okay? So this is the Ace of Cups. Okay, and then basically, like, it's pips. So we're going to skip over. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we have the court cards here. So I'm going to be putting this in my altar with my Spirit of Divination, as pretty much going to put it in their altar. That's what I bought it for. And I am going to be getting a second copy of the Marseille that I can actually work with, as it was stated. These, see, there's like imperfections in this. Look at that. I love that. as they said, there's no varnish on this, so to protect the cards, it's just better if you don't even like shuffle them. So that's what I'm gonna do, not use them, just kind of study purposes type of situation, and as an offering to the spirits. But I am planning to get a work copy, like a copy that I can actually do readings with, type of thing. But I am so happy that I got this because it is beautiful. Okay, just to make sure I have it, we have 6. Look at 7. See, this deck has like all these imperfections in it, which looks so authentic. 9, 10. I love that it's a limited edition, so it's like special. Look at her face. And then you got your swords. You got 1, 2, 3. See, some of them look faded. It looks like an old deck of cards that you would get from like as an heirloom type of thing. That's what it feels like. And then your last King of Swords. Right, so that is Tarot de Marcel. It's supposed to be a recopy of the 1760s version, okay? And yeah, so as you heard on the card, which I'm glad I read it, I'm gonna get a different copy so that I don't mess this one up by using it and erasing the images and all that stuff on it. So it's not made for shuffling. Okay, so, and I also dreamt to start using these cards, which I ended up re-edging because I got an old copy. I've talked about that already. I loved it ever since I got it from when I edged it and everything and blessed it. And this is the Gypsy Oracle deck. I hate the name, but that's what the name of it is. And it's a Celebia. Can't pronounce it, but these are the backs. And I love this deck. I use these for client readings as well. Just been obsessed with using this one for client reads and things like that. And I find that these are good straight out the box when I worked with them, like just very intuitive, psychic hits, that kind of stuff. However, I did buy a book to go with it that I'm planning to really dive into by Jacqueline Murray because I want to study this deck further, okay? I love to just learn. Like, this is a new form of divination for me, and I want to study it academically, but I do read it more in a spiritual based sense, but I still want the academic foundation. And speaking of academic foundations, my newest addition also is the Kipper Oracle cards. So the Romani one that you saw, okay, which again I love, and the Kipper Oracle cards. This one, OMG, love, 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 love. I can do a walkthrough of the other deck that I showed, but I've seen walkthroughs of it, so I figured you guys can just go look at that. But this one is by Alexander. I cannot say his last name. It is gorgeous. I'm not attracted to Marchetti. Every time I buy one of his decks, his artwork is beautiful, but I always end up rehoming his decks, even his Lenormand, all of the tarot ones that I've bought. I don't know, I don't connect with them, and so I end up rehoming them. But yeah, this one has 36. The other, the Gypsy Oracle has 52. So the number of playing cards. This art style I love. And I plan to work with this deck as well. I had a dream to add this into my divination, so I'm going to be doing that as well. Like, these things have taken everything up a notch. Like, as you know, time passes and you know, more experiences and things like that, I feel like we only become better readers, right? I mean, this is beautiful. I love the artwork on this, and I look forward to working with this deck. I got a guidebook that was created by the creator of this deck. I really want to study Kipper as well, being that it's a newer form of divination for me. Look at this love card. Success in love. It's just so beautiful. I love things that look antique. This looks like old paintings. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I love the gilding. It's beautiful cardstock. Has some similar cards to the Gypsy cards, the Gypsy Oracle cards. So, yeah. The name is unfortunate. I wish they would rename these decks. Like the Romani cards or something, but anyways. It's beautiful. Prison. I find these cards to be so balanced in both light and like darker things in life too. So I love it. And what I like about Kipper and Gypsy Oracle cards is that they actually have people in them. Because I think that's one of the things about Lenormand. There's not enough people in them for me. I like people, so I don't really connect with decks that don't have people, or they're just all animal based or whatever. That's just, I don't know, I don't like it. Not that I don't like it, I don't connect with it. This is the back, so gorgeous. Look at that gorgeousness. Okay, so that's the Kipper Oracle cards. Okay, beautiful, 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 beautiful. So I'm gonna put this back in the box. Oh, love it. Okay, and this is the book that I bought to work with it. So the Art of Kipper Reading, Decoding Powerful Messages. I don't feel like you necessarily have to get this deck to work with this guidebook, but it comes separate. Cannot wait. It really looks like it goes in debt with this book, so like with the deck of cards. So I cannot wait to read these two books, so I can get an academic feel for these forms of divination that I've been reading with. Amazing readings. People come back to, oh my God, your predictions are coming true, so on and so forth. So they've been amazing readings. So these are the decks that I'm being called to work with throughout 2021 into throughout 2020 and into 2021. So I am really, really excited to work with these decks, continue to work with these decks. Cannot wait to see where my Marseille, I cannot pronounce it, but you know, this deck, Marcel, that's how I say it. Cannot wait to see where my practice with this tarot and this form of divination takes me to, and the Kipper, and so on and so forth. So it's really exciting listening to the voice of the spirit guides and just seeing where they take me to, you know. They're the ones that inspire me to really get into Rider-Waite-Smith and all that good stuff, because I started with the Psychic Oracle and the Psychic Oracle, the Heart, and doing virtual Oracle decks and that. And it's just amazing where this journey has taken me to. And I'm just really excited to see where it goes. So much love, much light, much blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. And I'll see you guys next week when I upload my next video. I have a lot of great videos I have a video that I want to download next week that talks about my reading style and how I read and things like that, because I just want to continue to share more of my divination practice as well. I notice I don't really talk about it too much, so, and how I read, what's my style, code of ethics, just a very in-depth video of the way that I do things. So yeah, so pretty much fortune telling type of situation, predictive readings, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay, so much love, much light, much blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and until the next video. Bye.